Welcome to WiseTake DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. Joined here by Fuego Steve, WiseTake regularly. You can find him on Twitter at Fuego_Steve. And Fuego and I are joined by a special guest for the second time. So nice we brought him back twice. We got Connor Bishop. You can find him on Twitter at CJBeast1_DFS. And as you can see by the awesome swag hat he's got on there, Connor is, of course, the VP of Operations over at FanVice. Connor, man, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us again.
Hey, thanks for having me again, guys. Pleasure to be on.
Hey, awesome, turn your speaker down a little bit.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, is there an echo?
Yeah. That's all good.
So, Connor, man, it's been a while since we've seen you. Real quick, is there any like special deals or anything going on over there at FanVice that you could tell us about? It's been a while.
Yeah, we got a new all sports inclusive package coming up. It's $99. It gives you all the sports, WNBA, MLB, PGA, all up till September. So everybody should go over there and check that out. It's really a good deal.
Awesome, man. Sounds like a plan. Fuego, how you been, buddy?
All right. Yeah, it's been a while, I think, for me, but dealing with stuff but a nice little hit. We talked about me short slate, and I didn't do well in baseball. I did a after hours second place in the squeeze a couple nights ago. Took down 5,000. That was a nice little win.
The best part about that was that you fell asleep before it ended, so you didn't even know.
Yeah, Connor was like, we were talking about having sweats recently. I was like, the only one I could have had, I went to sleep.
He blew it. He blew his only opportunity to sweat. It was okay. It's all good, though. I'm sure you rather have what happened than what you did. It turned out good. You were happy in the end, right?
Right.
Oh, man. That reminds me, man. The last time Connor was on, man, the Fuego had the sweat in the final, and he got screwed at the last minute. Oh, my God. Sorry to bring that up, but that was hilarious. Yeah. Well, painful. At the time, it was painful, but it ended up being funny later on. It was like...
Well, you know what's funny? I said to my wife, I showed her the podcast, and I said, I bet you can tell exactly when I dropped to second place. And she goes, right there. I go, yep.
Right there.
And it was funny. I was so upset. I was like, that's the thing with Jews. Hey, if that was a regular tournament, I would have won a lot of money.
Yeah, but no, it's true.
It's first or nothing in the qualifier. But we'll get there. You've been having some good finishes too, CK. You keep it up, man.
Yeah, man. I'm trying.
Yeah, I've had a few. I had a good finish about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I came in third in a $888 tournament, and that was a good old bankroll boost. So I really enjoyed it. You know how the DFS life goes. It has its ups and downs.
Yeah, and we need those with the GPP life. Yeah, at least Chris here plays cash. I don't play the cash.
Great GPPs here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So we only got 7 games. We're not going to do the early slate. There's only like 3 games. So it's going to be a light day, man. So should be a nice, easy show. You know, we got to rush. We time and have fun with it. It's going to be refreshing, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, 15 games wears me out, man. I'll be honest.
Oh, yeah. No. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We may have to discuss a new format in the future, potentially position by position or something like that. Because the game-by-game formats on a 15-game slate is exhausting.
Right. And I feel like we don't give people as much info as we could as well, exactly, because you have to go through them.
Yeah, and like you definitely miss out on the game theory aspect because you're not really paying attention to guys' prices when you're scrolling because you're just looking at the matchups. So it's like, maybe we'll give it a shot as, we got a lot of big things coming up here too. So we'll see what happens, see if it makes the cut on one of the changes. Anyway, guys, let's get started here. We got Chris Sale, the lefty from the Boston Red Sox, visiting Nick Pivetta of the Philadelphia Phillies. Fuego, go ahead and start us off here.
To Sale or not to Sale, right? I mean, I think you almost have to play him on DraftKings and then find a second pitcher. Like, I mean, I haven't been playing much DraftKings recently, but I feel like that's what you have to do. There's only 7 games, and we don't have any other stud pitchers. FanDuel, I'm trying to figure out a way to fade him. If I haven't looked at all the tournaments yet. If it's a 10 lineup, 20 lineup night or more, I'll obviously have some. But if I'm only doing a few lineups, I'm going to try to figure out a way. Here's what I think. If he puts up a 58 or 61 or 67 like he has, you almost have to have him, I think. But if he puts up 43, 46, 41, 49 like he's done recently, and you get one of these other pitchers that can put up just even close, then I think you can make a case that you want to get bats in, then you pitch someone else. So, I'm not saying to fade him, but if we get a pitcher here that we think can get close, and because he's expensive, and we have Coors, so do you play Coors? I don't know.
Yeah, man, it's been a while since we had a Coors slate. Connor, what you got for us here, man?
Well, I mean, Fuego's right about Sell. It's just like you said, do you play Sell or Coors bats? I don't know if you can do both. So for GPPs, I think Sell has the most upside, definitely, but I don't know. I like that Verlander's at home. We'll get to him later, but he's a great play. I mean, but he's not at home. The Phillies, they have some right-handed bats that may be able to give them a little bit of home run trouble if they could get the bat on the ball. But he could have a big day. There's no doubt about that. So I can't argue with the Sell play at all. But other than that, I'm not going to really target the Phillies.
What do you think about the bats? I totally didn't say anything about the Boston bats.
I was going to say, I was like, all right, pitching show. I like it.
I like Benny a lot. Moreland, if he plays, we talked about it earlier. He's questionable. Mookie, obviously, and Jackie Bradley Jr. Going up against variety. So those are, you kind of want the left-handed bats if you can get them. Mookie's really not worried about his splits. I don't really didn't have very. So.
And he's heating up. He's heating up.
Yeah.
He hit 2 tonight, maybe.
Yeah, he hit 2 tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great.
So yeah, you don't have to worry about that, and definitely the lefty bats for sure. And Benintendi, they're still barely moving his price. He got 4th today, projected about 5th tomorrow. 22 points, 28 points, 16 points recently. Couple bad games, 21, 56. So. He seems to be everybody's favorite one-off too, especially when he was under 3,000. He's 3.2 tomorrow, but that's still cheap.
Yeah, I really like the Benny and Betts combo. So I've played the 1-2 stack before, so it's a little 2-man, but I like that.
Yeah, man, I think. I obviously you guys covered Sale perfectly. If you can't find a pitcher that can reach his and on DraftKings, like Connor, you play DraftKings more than I do. And Fuego, I think Fuego, I may have to agree with him. Is Chris Sale like a must play on DraftKings because of the fact that you have to pick 2 pitchers?
Connor, is he a must play on DraftKings?
I would say he's a must. I mean, I don't think he's a must play in a GPP, but if you're playing cash games, I would. Yeah, that would be the first thing I would do is plug Chris Sale in. So
right. I think for cash games, for both and FanDuel or DraftKings, and cash games are you probably want to play safe.
That's going to be the first thing that people do, right? Is they're going to plug in Sell, and then they're going to find value.
See what you have to work with.
Right. So.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of upside here with these Boston bats, and I'm not a believer in this Nick Pivetta guy. I'm looking at his numbers, and he gets hit pretty hard. At least he has. I know he's got a young career. We got a small sample size, but in this ballpark, if they can get to Pivetta, there's a terrible bullpen. I'm talking like the 29th ranked bullpen in the league we got with the Phillies here. So I think it's going to be interesting because Sale is so expensive. Like on FanDuel, he's so expensive that if you want to play Boston, you're going to have to settle for the bottom of the order. Like Pablo, Leon, Benintendi, as you said, 3.2. I'm sure people could still afford him. But if you want to play like Bogarts and Betts, it's going to be tough to do that with Sale. So it's
Right.
almost like a choice, man. And I think in a tournament, honestly, I think I'd rather take my chances, find me another pitcher. It's going to be ugly, I know,
Mm.
but then maybe play some of these bats because even so, they might not be popular just from a standpoint. People might say, if I'm going to pay down, then I'm going to go play Coors then. So even so, that might leave the Red Sox just kind of naked. This top of the order here, you know, it's
Great
interesting, right?
call. I like that a lot.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
and really, study the slate because I, his last 4 games, 43, 46, 33, 41. Those are good numbers. That's his floor. Don't get me wrong, but that's not 60. So if you can get someone that can get 35 to 40 and you get bats in, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we got to, it's the night before. We got to wake up tomorrow and see how everything
Yeah.
feels, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
you never know.
All right, guys. We got an interesting game here. We got Alex Cobb of the Tampa Bay Rays visiting Justin Verlander of the Detroit Tigers. Connor, you want to start us off this time?
Yeah, I'll start us off. I'm liking the hitters from this one. I like Harper with the lefty-lefty matchup. Hopefully people will shy away from that, but he's really
Wait.
good.
I'm sorry. You said who?
Do you do the Mets or the
Oh, no.
Rays?
I'm sorry. We're on Cobb and Verlander. I'm sorry. We're doing the
Oh,
Rays and the.
okay, yeah. On this one, I like Verlander a lot. So I'm not on Tampa Bay bats at all. And then you know what he can do. Basically, he has the same upside in my opinion as Sell. He's at home. If he gets on a roll, he can throw. Definitely go deep into the game. 110 pitches if he had to. If he gets on a roll, they're not going to take him out in the ninth if he can go that last inning. I like that. Other side, I like Avila at catcher, and I like Victor Martinez batting from the left-handed side, first base as a value first baseman. That's about it in that game.
I like it. Fuego, what you got to add?
Love the Detroit Bats. They have a 5.2 implied total, I think, right now, which is outside of Colorado. No, 5.1. Boston has 5.2. So, and we have another 5 coming up. So, you gotta like that. I would play, if you're not playing Verlander, I would play the lefty Tampa Bay guys against him. I could see that, Morrison, Dickerson. And I agree with his assessment of Verlander, and I really have no interest in pitching Cobb.
Man, I'm with you guys. I have no interest in pitching Cobb for sure. I love the Tigers in this spot. I mentioned the Red Sox. Maybe people won't play them. The chances of them playing the Tigers are even less because Miguel Cabrera is more expensive than a Moreland or a Hanley. JD Martinez is more expensive than Betts. So you want to talk about, you could really get a chance here if you want to fade Coors and try to get away from Sale, if it's possible. But in tournaments, you got to get funky. We always say that. You guys are tournament guys, so you know. I think it's a great spot for the Tigers here, man. And not to mention Alex Cobb. Obviously, he's been in and out, hurt, etc. We don't have as large of a sample size recently as some of these other guys, but we have something decent. And while his WOBA to lefties is worse, his hard contact rate on the road to righties is. He gets hit hard by righties, and we know Detroit. As much as we prefer lefties against Detroit, we know that they could really get to some of these guys. So, as far as Verlander, my concern, Verlander at home is where you want to take him. I agree with you, Connor, 100%. If you want to play Verlander, you want to do it at home. And we see K upside, we see the Rays. My only concern is the 4.5 Vegas run projection for the Rays. That just seems really high. Like, I'm shocked, man, because going into it, I knew Verlander was on the slate against the Rays, and I'm like, oh, Verlander's going to be. And now I see that. It scares me away a little bit. It does. Did you guys play any merit to that at all, or what?
I bet it might have something to do with the weather tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be really hot in Detroit. I really don't know. I mean, but the weather could play a factor. I don't know. I mean, because if it's going to be 90 degrees, then that would take away from me saying Verlander could go 9 innings because if it's hot, he's not going to, they're not going to let him sit out there and burn up on the mound. It's going to, a pitcher.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, that may have something to do with it. I haven't looked at the weather on any of these games as of now. So, to tomorrow, that would be something that everybody needs to do is look at the weather first. But
Yeah.
if they're at 4, that's kind of alarming to me with him being at
I was
home.
I was just shocked, right? I was just like, what?
That
I was just like,
is very. I'm very shocked to hear that.
Yeah, that's
that's,
definitely high. I would take that into account for sure, especially since there's a couple other pitchers I may like better than him.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that. See if it moves at all as well.
I mean,
He's
if you want
still
to be,
favorite though.
if you want to be really different, then don't play Sell or Verlander, and then load up on bats. But
yeah,
we'll
that's a
get to
good
that.
point.
And let's see if we can find some other pitchers we like.
Yeah,
Which I think
we still got a couple games to get through here.
Right.
All
Yeah,
right, we got yeah, we got Gio Gonzalez, the lefty from the Washington Nationals, visiting Robert Gsellman of the New York Mets. Connor, I'm gonna have you go first this time because you were already beginning your Nationals your National speech. Go for it.
I got you. Yeah, I like the hitters. Like I said, I like Harper in the lefty-lefty matchup. I like Zimmerman.
Oh no, wait, they're going up against Gsellman, right?
Oh, I had at Matt. So yeah, I guess that's wrong. Yeah, is that wrong? I
Oh,
had
well, now
Gonzalez.
wait a minute. You might be right because I always get
I think
confused. I always
I
get
think
thrown off here.
Giseleman's against Scherzer, and then Max is going
Is it
against
Mats tomorrow?
Gio. I don't know. I looked
Oh,
on, and I don't know.
that could
Let's
be
see
interesting.
here.
Right now, FanDuel has Gsellman in there, and
Okay.
Labs I think Gsellman in there.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they might not.
I could have sworn Mats did something today. I could have
Okay.
sworn that
Yeah.
Mats might have pitched like an inning or something today. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry, Connor, man. I don't mean to cut you off like that. Go ahead, brother.
Well, then I don't. I still like Harper just as much going up against a righty. So
Even better,
uh,
right?
yeah. So that doesn't change my love for the Nationals. I like Harper. I still like Zimmerman. I like Turner. I still have him written down, but I just kind of want the power and the speed from this Nationals team.
Yeah, man. I think it's definitely a great point. Any love for Gio here?
I mean, I don't really ever target Gio as a pitcher. He's kind of just a pass for me most of the time. I don't really target against him either, but I'm probably not going to pitch him. I wouldn't fault anybody for pitching him, but I probably won't go there.
Yeah, I hear you. Fuego, what you got to add here?
So normally I'm not a Geo guy, but I was looking at game logs and I'm looking and he's been real consistent recently, 46, 37, 38, 34. And the last time at the Mets on April 22nd, now obviously it was colder. We don't have these high temperatures. But he went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 44 FanDuel points. That intrigues me. I want to look deeper into what was like that day, and was it similar lineups, that kind of thing, because the Mets bats, although I love playing them, they don't scare me, and I could see going here if you want. He's had 10 games, 34 plus this year. I mean, that's pretty consistent. So I hadn't thought about it until I looked at these numbers, and I would think about it for sure. If you're trying to be different, you're trying to get away from Sale. I mean, let's just say you get lucky and he puts up 38 and Sale puts up 46. Well, you can make up that 8 points with the bats. So he intrigues me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think that's it's definitely a great point. One thing to keep in mind here is both of these teams, especially the Nationals. You want to talk about some bad bullpens. So if you like for instance, the Nationals, for instance, regardless of whether Gsellman has a good game or not, or Mats, whoever it is, as soon as they come out of the game, it's just open season. It's just like, and that's the case on both sides. Like you saw, you could have Gio go out there and pitch a gem for 6 innings, but you got to worry about he's got a terrible bullpen behind him. You got to worry about with the win. But you know what? If you're gonna fade Sale, you better make sure you hit on those bats because there's not much else. There's really not much else out there. And Gio, like you mentioned, Fuego and Connor, both of you, Gio's not normally a guy that you target and you really don't look at, especially not on the road. But the slate's that bad. The slate is that bad. And it's got the conditions are better for, it's not as hot. It's like 67 degrees or something like that over in this area. The temperature dropped. It's not going to be 90 anymore like it was for the Cup Series. So yeah, man, I get it. I just can't. I can't do it myself, just because I just can't do it on the road with Gio. Don't get me wrong. Over the last 2 years, his K per nine at home is like in the high 8s or low 9s. At home, he gets some serious K upside, but on the road, it's like in the 7s. And that's just too drastic of a difference for me to take a chance on. Now, with that said, I will admit, if I'm not going to play Sale, I've already took a peek at some of the other pitchers we have left. It's not pretty. Like he's actually one of the more attractive options. So that's saying a lot about how bad the pitching is outside of Sale on this slate.
And Gio's only an option for me really on FanDuel. I don't think I'm going to go there, or on DraftKings. He's too expensive. But it's just interesting to look at. They also have 4.2 is the total for Oakland, which is one of the lowest on the slate. So something to look at.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be tough if you're going to fade Sale. It's going to be tough, but I still think you can find the guy, right? One of these ugly dudes is going to just do it. It's just we got to find out which one it is, man. We got to dig. All right, we got Zach Davies of the Milwaukee Brewers visiting Michael Wacha of the St. Louis Cardinals. Fuego, you start us off, man.
So, I'm not thrilled with. I'm not thrilled with either pitcher. Wacha doesn't have the K upside, I mean, he had 2 strikeouts, 5 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts. He just doesn't strike anyone out. He doesn't go very many innings. So I just don't really like him. I do like these St. Louis bats. They've been treating me well recently. So I'd probably go with some of them. And who they play? Milwaukee. Well, Thames is heating back up, I think, so you could probably play him. And you could probably play some of these bats too to get different. They shouldn't be super highly owned.
Yeah, for sure. Connor, what you got here?
Yeah, I got the same things. Fuego. I like the St. Louis bats. I got Pham, Fowler, Carpenter, and Jericho at the second base, or third. So those are my St. Louis bats. We've been targeting Davies all year, so I really like St. Louis. I don't know how talking it'll be tomorrow when the total comes out. Wacha, I'm not gonna play him, but yeah, I might. Thames is always a great play. Milwaukee's not going to be owned, so I could see 1 or 2 people getting off a home run on Wacha. But overall,
I'm with you, man. I see. You know what's interesting here is it really cooled down. Like over the weekend, we had a ton of hot weather, right? Like the Yankees were going nuts in New York because it was like 90 degrees, and it was just hot. And one of the only games that still have that hot weather is here. I'm seeing about 90 degrees in St. Louis. So, if you look at their prices too, if you don't want to play Sale, if you do want to play Sale, you won't have a problem getting pretty much whoever you want on FanDuel from this game on both sides. That's something to think about.
Yeah, my initial build when I was building a Sale lineup had Carpenter, Jericho, Fowler in there.
Yeah, and even if you want to go the other way with Thames and Sokard, you can do the same thing.
I think that's what most people will do is go Sale and St. Louis bats.
That makes sense. Yeah,
it's just I think that makes they're always popular at home, and they're going to have a high total against Davies, and it's either going to be do that or you fade St. Louis and you play Colorado, which we'll see.
And that makes sense. They are the other team with 5-run implied total, and
right.
They are cheaper than Detroit and Boston. So that's
we found our Sale bats right here, right? This is probably going to be our chalky Sale bats, right?
Right now we have to decide do we want to play that or not.
Yeah.
Hey, well, the funny thing is, you could pivot right to Milwaukee then. You could simply just, all right, fine, I'm just going to stack the Milwaukee guys instead. It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pivot. I could see
It's
it.
weird. It's funny, man.
My boy
All
Hernan
right.
Perez.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Your boy. Exactly. All right. Yeah. It's going to be tough to fade Coors, too. We got Matt Moore, the lefty from the San Francisco Giants, visiting Jeff Hoffman of the Colorado Rockies. It looks like it's going to be about 85 degrees. Now, it is dry, only 15% humidity, but it's still 85 degrees in Coors. Connor, you want to start us off here?
Yeah, can I start by asking what's the total on this game?
Oh
I
man,
think
I see. I don't see the combined, but I see the Giants are 4.9, and the
mm,
Rockies are 6.2. What I see.
yeah. I bet it gets set at like 10.5 or something like that. But
Yeah,
um,
I think that's 11. I think it's
yeah,
it's got to
yeah.
be at
So
11 or so. I think.
I'm really liking this game a lot. And there's going to be no way you can play sell and get these bats in, I don't believe. So I'm really liking Arenado, Ian Desmond from the right side against the lefty. Love him. Blackman, lefty matchup, but that doesn't scare me at home. He's just been uh, great. He has the best numbers, obviously, but he is playing in Colorado, so he'll be back at home. That's good for him. Reynolds and LeMahieu. So I really like all the Rockies bats, and then you can go to the other side. Also, some people say they're scared to play bats from away teams in Colorado the very first game because it takes them a game to adjust.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that really plays into real life, but I like Belt, Crawford, Posey, Span, and Nunez. So 1 through 5 from San Francisco. So I really like this game a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Fuego, what do you have here?
Now San Francisco doesn't strike out a lot, right?
It depends on the lineup. Usually, no, as long as everybody's healthy and in, no. But they have some guys that if they start, it changes the whole dynamic. But yeah,
What are your
typically you're right.
What are your guys' thoughts on Jeff Hoffman? I mean, let me
Oh
just
man, I
tell
was
you.
gonna ask you about that. I was actually gonna
Listen
ask
to
you guys. His game log's
So
now
ridiculous.
his last 3 games were on the road, but he had 50, 55, and 49. But at home, he had 37, 33, and then he had a 9. So he's been striking out a lot of people, 8, 9, 7, 8. I
San
mean,
Francisco doesn't strike out.
right, that's the problem, and that's the problem. If he
They're
was
going to
facing a team that had struck out more, I would definitely think about him. But I'm not sure I could pull the trigger, though.
I think people will go there.
If you want to, I mean, it's a 7-game slate. If you're not going Pavetta or Davies or Cobb or Moore, DraftKings, you might roll him as an SP2. But I'm not saying I recommend it, but he's been pitching well. That I will say that. But the 4.9, and I think maybe I see somewhere it's up to 5 now for the Giants, possibly either went up or down. But you don't really want to attack that, and Connor covered all the bad stuff. It's cores. But the Giants do, 5 is pretty low, or 4.9 is pretty low for a Colorado game. Let's just put it that way.
What do you think the ownership will be on the stack of the Giants bats? Sub 5%, sub 10%, sub 10% stack?
Yeah, I think they'll be right
The
around
Giants,
10.
yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a little
You
bit
think? I mean,
10.
it'll be. Game theory. I mean, really, if you can get a course team that low ownership and they go off for, that's great for a tournament.
That's true, and they're the cheaper side for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You might even be able to play. I haven't looked at the pricing on the Giants, but if they're cheap, I mean, I bet Crawford and Belt and Span and Nunez are all 3K. I mean, you may be able to play sell. I don't really know. You may be able to play San Francisco stack with sell. Nobody will do that.
If there's enough value, yeah, you probably could.
Yeah.
Or
But,
with the right guys like Panic. I mean, he might bat 7th, but still on FanDuel
yeah,
he's 3.1. That's like,
he
you know what
had,
I mean?
he had 2 hits tonight, so batting
Yeah.
out of 7.
Yeah, I think people will play Hoffman. I think they will. I think Hoffman's earned himself enough fans out there who've been playing him on the road in these other smaller slates. I think people will do it. Like, I don't think he's going to be mega chalk or anything. I think Sale's obviously going to be the most popular, but I think people will do it. I think they certainly will. I think they'll I'm
They're
going to
gonna
play
look
Hoffman
at
at 6'6".
they're gonna look at the box score, right? I mean, they're
Yeah.
gonna go to the box score and see what Fuego saw, and
Right.
they might go sell Hoffman and might be able to still get a reasonable amount of bats that they're happy with. But like you said, if you can upgrade a few bats, like Fuego said, and make up whatever differential you think you can make up with your bats from coming off a sell, then that's also a great play.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, we got Jordan Montgomery, the lefty from the New York Yankees, visiting Sonny Gray of the Oakland Athletics. Fuego, back to you, man.
Yeah, this is the pitcher that I think I like in Jordan Montgomery. I think if I'm pivoting from Sale, I'm going to go Montgomery. He's 49, 43, his last two. Before that, 25, 39. He had a 12 in there, but 27, 33, 31, 31. I mean, he's putting up the 30s with the highs of 40s against the Orioles, against the Blue Jays. It's Oakland, so it doesn't scare me. And I think he's 7,500. I might be leaning him over Verlander, to be honest with you. And because if you play him at 7.5, you can get all the bats that you want, whether you're going Coors, whether you're going Boston, whether you're going Detroit. I think I like Montgomery, and I could see people playing Sonny Gray, though I'm not as high on him because New York has just been smashing the ball. So I really don't want to go against New York bats. I would fire up the Yankees for sure.
Okay, Connor, what you got here?
Yeah, I might have to disagree just a little bit on the New York bats. They're not as good on the road as they are at home. So I have a little more interest in Gray. Montgomery, I love him just like you said. He's not at home. That's the only thing I wouldn't like about him. But I like both pitchers in this game. I couldn't fault anybody for playing Gray. I don't know. Right now, you might be able to make a lineup with Gray and Montgomery, and on DraftKings, you're not really worried about the win. So that would be nobody is going to do that tomorrow. That's just a really contrarian thought. But other than that, I don't have very much from this game. I have Davis and Chris Davis down and Healy from Oakland against Montgomery. They're at home and they've been hitting the ball pretty well lately. So
and Jed Lowry, second base,
yeah,
extraordinaire, who never gets his price raised, and he's batting 300, and I don't get it ever. Like, I think FanDuel doesn't like Jed Lowry.
Yeah, I love Jed. Always, I'm a big Jed Lowry fan and a Alonso fan. So, but I probably won't go to Alonso against the lefty.
Right.
All right, we got Matthew Stram of the lefty from the Kansas City Royals visiting Ricky Nolasco of the Los Angeles Angels. Let's see. It's the last game. Okay, yeah, it's what I thought. It's the last game here. Fuego, go ahead. Take us home, man.
So I'm reading here Stram will be limited to 65, 70 pitches. He hasn't started a game since last July in Double-A. The Angels have a 4.6 implied run total. Here's where, you could get sneaky with them, stack up some Angels and hope this guy, busts. The problem is we've talked about ever since Trout's gone down, who do you stack it up with? Is it Calhoun? Is it Pujols? Maven at the top of the order. So I have no interest on the pitcher, obviously, on that side. And Ricky Nolasco, I've fallen for his trap before, but there's no pitching on this slate, and I could definitely see it on DraftKings as an SP2 for sure. And Kansas City, they've been playing well, but I'm not sure. They only have a 4.0 implied run total, which I'm not really think I'm going to target with the other games.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Connor, go ahead. What you got here?
Yeah, I'm not liking a whole lot from this game, to be honest with you. It just seems like it could be a 4-3 game or something like that. But from the LA side, if you're gonna play the Angels or Kansas City, you got to stack them up, right? I mean, you're not. In my opinion, there's not a whole lot of power you're not going to get a whole lot of power from either one of these teams. So for Kansas City, you got Perez, but I'd rather have him against a lefty. But not a whole lot to love from this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the pitchers either. I'm with you guys there. Although I will admit, the Royals are projected for 4 runs. That's like what the second lowest outside of
Right.
Sale. So I hate Nolasco. I don't think I've ever played Nolasco before. I think I played 2 game slates with him on there, and I still never played him. But I will admit, Vegas seems to think there might be something. Regardless of that, I will say I do have interest in the Angels bats. Now I know that there's some question with power. I'm with you guys. I agree. But the thing here with Kansas City, if this guy is basically a bullpen, he's basically a bullpen guy, Fuego. Is that what you were saying? He's gonna be on a 60 pitcher or something like that.
Yep.
So he's from the Kansas City bullpen, which is ranked 21st in the major leagues. And then what happens when he leaves when he's on a 60 pitch count? You get more of the 21st ranked bullpen in the league. So I think that the Angels 4.6 isn't terrible. It's not as high as as some of these other guys, but they're priced appropriately to where you can play Sale and play some of these guys. Pujols is 2.6 against a lefty. CK013 has been mashing lefties since he got recalled. He's only 2.6. Maldonado 2.2. We know he's got the power. Espinoza is terrible. He is horrible, but he did hit a home run today. So you never know. Maybe he's waking up. So I think it's possible. I know it's tough. Like these guys, the Phillies, all these teams, and the Braves, it's hard to play them because you don't know where to play them. You're just like, they're all so bad. I don't want to play any of them. But like sometimes it pays off. So yeah, it's not my favorite stack by any means, but I certainly see the upside for sure on the bats here.
I could see going Moustakas as a one-off.
Yes.
And possibly, Calhoun actually hits lefties pretty well for the Angels. Do you think people are going to play this pitcher? They'll look at his 14 strikeouts per 9 innings and play him, Matthew Strahan?
I hope not.
They might. I don't know, but they might. We've seen people do crazy things. I mean, we've seen people do crazy things.
And it's a 7-game slate, so he's only 5,600 on FanDuel, and he's only 4,700 on DraftKings. I think people are going to play him.
They might play him. If they don't play him, it's only because the Angels beat up Pineda today. Otherwise, I think people will. Play him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play somebody else.
I'm not, but people will.
Yeah, I'm not. But yeah, I think people will. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to debate whether I play Nolasco.
That's a horrible debate.
I feel like I want to fade Sale. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look.
Yeah. I think we just kind of we have to get a feel for what the chalk lineup build is going to be. Are people going to pay up for Sale and find cheap bats? Because if that's the case, we fade that. Or are people going to pay down a pitcher and load up on the bats? If that's the case, we got to play Sale and find the cheap bats. So you got to get a feel for what you think the chalk lineup build is. Not even the chalk players, what the chalk lineup build is going to be.
Yeah, and watch the run totals as well. See if they go up or down.
Yeah, definitely. It's a huge indicator for sure. Well, that's going to do it for the game-by-game breakdown. You guys ready to play some Dong Watch?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, Connor. You get the first pick, bud. No cores. That's the only rule, but price is not a thing.
Okay, sounds good. Give me Bryce Harper. I'm going to go ahead and take him off the board.
I like it. When price ain't a thing, man, Harper definitely,
He's not in court.
He's not yet. There you go. Fuego, what you got here?
Mookie Betts.
Like that. All right, so I am going to go with Miggy Cabrera, even though he really, really burned me today. And I'm going to go with his counterpart as a hedge. I'm going to go with, what's his name? JD Martinez.
Nice.
I blanked on his name for a second.
He was my next up to take.
I had to. One of these guys got to do it, right? All right, Fuego, it's up to you.
I feel like I like Detroit, like Alex Avila.
Yeah, we just need to be stacking up on Detroit tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that seems to be the
I'm going to take Avila.
All right, go for it. Connor, you get 2 here, man.
Okay, well, I think everybody's going to stack Detroit tomorrow. So I'm taking Victor Martinez as my value first baseman home run. And give me Benny from Boston, batting left-handed. I think he's going to go yard tomorrow.
I like it. All right, Fuego, who you got here?
Aaron Judge.
Oh.
That guy's always a good play, no matter what. I don't
Why
care what
not?
matchup
He's
he
got
in.
22 home runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? The guy has 22 home runs. Why not? I'm with it. All right. So I think for me, because I said his name, I got to give him a shot. I'm gonna go with CK013, assuming he plays against it. A little off the board play, you know. A little off.
Yeah. Gotta have some of them.
Hey man, that was fun, man. It was, it's always a good time when we have Connor on, man. For sure.
Yeah. Everybody check out FanVice. They do good work over there.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Had a great
man,
time. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure,
and hopefully
man.
this will lead us to a little luck.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
right?
next time we'll do a live sweat show. How about that?
Sounds like
Yeah, definitely, man. So, guys, obviously that's Connor. He's from the VP of Operations of FanVice. You want to go ahead and check them out and give them some support. They're a really good team and a bunch of good guys, so definitely check them out. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to us here at WiseTake. If you're listening on Podbean, the audio-only version, give us a follow. If you're listening on iTunes, subscribe, and also leave us some positive reviews, some 5-star reviews, bump us up those charts. This was a lot of fun. I gotta say again, Fuego, Connor, man, thank you guys both, man. It was a blast.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right. So for Fuego, for Connor, and for myself, as always, good luck.
Peace.
Later.